defense mechanism so I don't get disappointed too much. And what I do so that I'm not disappointed too much, sometimes I have to lower my standards. I have to expect less out of people so I won't be disappointed from time to time. If you've ever been hurt, you start lowering your standards because you're tired of people disappointing you. You have to wonder, am I asking too much of my children? Am I asking or expecting too much out of my spouse? Am I expecting too much out of my family? Because I keep getting disappointed. They keep coming up short. So in order for me to prevent being hurt, I lower my standards. It's not the wisest thing to do. It's not the best thing to do. But I tell you, it's a defense mechanism. It's how I have that perseverance that I can continue. Sometimes I have to expect less. Is Jesus asking too much of us? After all, we were created in his image and likeness. Yes, sir. After all, he's given every good and perfect gift. Yes, sir. He leads us and guides us. Yes, sir. Blesses us above and beyond what we deserve. And then he only says, Micah 6th chapter verse 8 tells us what God requires, that we ought to do justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly before our God. Is that too much to ask? Well, you know, we like to give with strings attached. I'll give you something, but it'll have a string attached to it. I'll be nice to you because I want something in return. Y'all ain't met nobody like that, have you? They'll be a blessing to you only to hold it over your head. Yeah. First time they get mad at you, they bring it back. Remember what I used to do? I used to do that with my brothers. They got some now-a-laters. I want a now-a-later. And I asked them, let me have one of your now-a-laters. And they say no. And I'll say, remember when I gave you some of my potato chips? Remember I shared my soft drink with you? I gave it with the hopes of getting something back, that they would owe me something. But it's amazing that every good and perfect gift comes down from the Father above, who gives good stuff. And don't ask for nothing in return. To do justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly before him, that's what he asks of us. No matter what age we are, we have the same requirements: to do justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly before our God. Yes. So I wonder, is he asking too much of us? And if he's continuously disappointed in us, don't take for granted his grace and mercy. Because if you or I were God, we'd get sick and tired of the people not giving what we ask. God don't want your money. Cattle of 1,000 hills belong to him. The silver and gold belong to him. The earth, the fullness, and all they that dwell in it belong to him. He don't need your nickels and dimes. Don't think you hurting the church because you refuse to give your tithe. You're hurting yourself. God don't need your money. He don't need your praise. He don't got angels assigned to sing holy, holy, holy. If you don't praise him, he could have the rocks cry out. But he's been too good. I don't want no rock to steal my praise. So the question is Jesus too much for you? Is he asking too much? The 6th chapter of John, around the 41st verse through the end. Y'all don't bother, I'm already preaching. He goes, he's in a discourse with some disciples. He's sharing with them. They're questioning him. Some are already upset with him. Jesus put them in their place because he fed the multitudes. Then he went up in the mountain, sent the apostles on the other side. He fed the multitudes. He came on the other side, and when he was there, the only one thing they wanted to know is, how did you get over here? We don't see any other boat, just the boat that the disciples took over, but how did you get across the sea? Come on now. Jesus begins to talk with them and share with them that he is the bread of heaven, the bread of life. Yes, sir. And they're looking, and he's talking to them about eating his flesh and drinking of his blood. And some of them say they can't do this. Oh, man, he's asking too much. Verse 60 says, therefore many of his disciples, when they heard this, said, this is a hard saying. Who can understand it? Some of them packed their bags and went back home. Because what Jesus was requiring of them, they did not want to give. It's not that he's asking too much, but the fact that we do not want to give up what he's asking us to give up. If they would have just remained with him, been committed to him, followed all the way to the end, they would have been blessed above and beyond what they could have ever imagined. There has to be some consistency. Just because it don't go your way don't mean you're supposed to walk away. How would every marriage end if we had a disagreement and we had a reason to walk out of the marriage? They all would be over within a day. Jesus said some hard stuff to them, and they had trouble accepting what he said. So instead of remaining with him, they walked away from him. There's some people